Good evening, Australia. Welcome. A bit undone here. It's a bit sexual for you tonight. Welcome to Psychic TV International Thursday night show. It is great to have your pleasure and your company tonight. We are streaming, which is a really good sign. But production, I just sort of want to let you know, I think the website's gone down. I can't seem to log on to the Psychic TV website to see who's online. That could just be an error on my end, but I just wanted to sort of let production know I can't seem to get onto the website. But I'm sure psychics are logged on, and I will let you know who is. But anyway, we're here tonight. We're live tonight, which is the most important part. Good to see you, Beth, Andrew, Jen. Please do like and share this page. Of course, the rules have not changed. We would love to reach as many people as we possibly can. We have the most beautiful, delightful soul. I don't think I can describe her any more perfectly. Don't want to stroke her ego too much either, but we have the most beautiful Rayleen, who is going to be joining us live in a second. Rayleen is one of the OGs, for those who are maybe not as young as I am. One of the originals of Psychic TV, so we're going to learn a lot about her journey tonight. There's an extensive journey there that I personally am excited to learn about as well. I'm sure you are as well. So do say hello. Now, remember, if you are new or if you have forgotten, we don't do psychic readings tonight. That is for Saturday with Harry T on a Saturday night. But we do welcome any spiritual related questions. So as we get to know Rayleen on a more sort of deeper level, if there's anything that you would like to know about her or any questions you have specifically about her, feel free to ask those, and if she's able to answer them, she definitely will. Beth, good to can always rely on you, Beth, being there. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice already. It's a great start. Good, Kat, to see you there. So yes, please do like and share this page. We want to reach and connect with as many people as we possibly can. Production is just checking the Psychic TV website. I don't know if it's just me, but I just can't seem to be able to log into it. So yes, I can't tell you who's logged in at this stage, but I'm sure there are psychics that are logged in. But anyway, we're not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to get on with tonight's show. And I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to bring our guest of honor to the stage. So please welcome Rayleen. Hello.
Hello, darlings. How are you?
It's so good to see you, and thank you.
Did you see me jump when you were coming on? Did that it just scared me? Did you see me jump? You should have.
No, I missed it.
Oh, damn.
I'll have to go back and watch it.
Oh, of course. Sorry. Go ahead.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Michael. And it's so lovely to be here. I love the way you host your show, actually. I've been watching, and you're doing an amazing job, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's good to always get the feedback. Yeah, I'm a bit sort of, left-centered kind of host. I don't kind of follow a typical rule. I kind of like just, this word I was going to use, but it's probably not appropriate for this time of the night, but I kind of go off script,
Yeah. I'm very much like that, off script. Very much.
I think it's the best thing. I think I found, when you are going on script, it's too robotic, and it's just nice to just go with the flow. So let's sort of start with that, and we'll just start with the basics with yourself. Why don't you introduce who Rayleen is and what type of psychic you are to the people?
Well, I could be honest and just say I am, because that's me. I am. My name is Rayleen. I have
One
been
of a kind.
Yeah, very unique. I like to think. I should have been a comedian too. I should tell you that as well, Michael, because I love being funny. But yeah, my name is Rayleen Cable. I've been very blessed and very honoured to work in the industry for over, I don't know, I didn't want to think about it. I had to do my dyeing today, so my grey hairs. Yeah, I have been very blessed to do TV work, not only with Psychic TV. I've also done Haunting Australia, The One. Oh my gosh, there's a few. So yeah, that's
definitely. I would, especially Haunting Australia is something that I want to dig into a bit later, because I've seen both shows, but Haunting Australia is definitely one of my favorites. But we'll go into that. But yeah, so obviously you're a psychic medium.
I'm also a hypnotherapist and Reiki healer, and I do a whole lot of things. I've been all my life. I've always worked on being better and learning more things, so I can more modalities, so I could help more people. So I think that's for me. I love being able to not just have one particular tool, but have many, because everyone's different. And like someone might need hypnotherapy rather than a psychic reading, or rather than a mediumship reading. I am foremost a medium. I'm very honored and blessed to be able to connect with the other side in such a beautiful, deep way. I love it. That's just like my right arm, to be honest. But that opens me up to absolutely everything in the field, from clairvoyance. I have every sentience. So you know what I mean.
Ah,
We've got
yeah,
all
yeah.
the senses. I have all those running 24/7, 7 days a week, and I love it. This is why I'm here. This is what I'm here to do. Apart from being a wonderful mother and hopefully a wonderful wife, I really truly believe that my role in this life is to help people, and
I love that, and
sometimes
we're definitely going to go into detail a lot about that. I can sort of reveal that the Psychic TV International website is now back up and running. We had a bit of a tech glitch there,
that's it.
so I can let you know that the Amazing Grace is available on pin 9888, Judith Sky on 9125, Mystical L on 9151, and Nellie Norm Baker available on pin 9810. But of course, the fun is here tonight.
It is.
Um, it is. Let's start from the beginning. When did you discover? And we had this conversation last week with Harry, and I've had it a few times with other psychics. Do you call it a gift or an ability or both?
Um, Everything. Yeah. It's
Everything. So
yeah.
when that had everything, when did that all start for you? When did you become aware that you had everything?
Well, I was a little girl. I was like a little Todd before. I've always heard. I've always been yeah, audio. And yeah, I used to tell my mum you'd get the man out of my ear. And I know people will think that's crazy, but I've always heard. It's the same as I can be somewhere in here if there's a spirit there. It sounds weird, but yeah. So I've had it from a very, very young age. Did I understand it when I was a little girl? No, not at all. Not at all. Obviously, because I hadn't matured and understood what it was about. My mother knew that I had a gift, and she used to visit the nuns, and the nuns said the same thing. They didn't realize, but they knew that I had a gift. So yeah, I've always had a very strong, and I will always have a very strong faith. Now, when I say that, it's not in a church per se, but it's certainly in the Almighty, if you know what I mean, God and Jesus and all those things, and the ever-present consciousness. So I believe there's a whole lot more out there, and yeah, I explore it in every way with love. Yep.
Definitely,
I
I
answered
think
that all
that's
right.
the most important way you can do it.
Mm.
At what point or what age did you actually understand what it is that you had?
Oh, quite young actually. I said, "Oh, okay, it's hard to explain because now I'm getting visions, and I'm going right back to, like, when I was, like, 7 and 8 and 10, and I tell my mother things, I'd say certain people would arrive, or there's something going to happen. So I was, from a very young age, thank God my mum was a beautiful, beautiful soul. I could express to her what I was seeing, what I was feeling, what I was sensing, what I knew was coming. So from a very young age, I was able to express that without being held back, which is one. I think truly that was my blessing. My mother was so beautiful and so understanding. And mind you, just for the viewers that don't know, my mother took me to a psychologist and all those things. So I actually went through the whole protocol of,
I
making
love I
sure.
love I love that comparison of like my mum was so supportive, but she still took me to a psychologist.
Yeah, she did everything that, when you're telling your mum you're seeing things and you're hearing things, and on a continuous basis, obviously she's going to get a little concerned and go, "Oh, hang on, we'll just make sure there's nothing else going on." Do you know what I mean? And she did that. So yeah, everything was absolutely fine. And I can tell people that. I like to tell people that because if you're just coming in now and watching the show with us, you could think, "Oh, gee, she's a bit of a nutter." You
They'll
could.
be right.
Uh,
No, I'm joking.
and yeah, yeah, exactly. But it's nice because I'm a very practical person in general, to be honest. I'm a skeptic myself. So I know that sounds very odd to say, But I am a skeptic. You have to be in life. You can't just go, oh, yes, that's, what you're saying is 100%. So I use discernment quite a lot in my world. And I suggest people, anyone who's, out there listening, to do the same thing. Just because someone says something is that way, feel on it. Does it feel right to you? Or does it feel that that resonates with you? Because if it doesn't, it may not be actually what you need to hear in that moment. Yeah.
I love that. I kind of do just want to pick your brain a little bit there on the
I like
skeptic
it, right?
side of it. So what part of you makes you a skeptic?
I don't know. Some part of my brain.
Is it
I don't
just
know.
like, for example, when you don't understand something, or if you like, because you've done a lot, and obviously there's Haunting Australia, and you've done with spirits
Oh
and
yeah,
things like
I've done a
that, and
lot of
so
different things.
there'll be a lot of skeptics in your world because a lot of people
Yeah.
don't believe in that. So I love that sort of. I love that you call yourself part skeptic in that sense because people be like,
100%.
how
Yeah.
can you be
Yeah.
both?
Well, you
I
can
love that.
because I have a faith and I have a knowing, and I use the word knowing. It's not even a belief, it's a knowing. So having that knowing and being using my discernment with even my own things is good. I think that's healthy,
Mm,
and it's served me well over the many years, like if for example, if a client books in, I generally will know what's going on before they even come to me. Do you know what I mean? But then I have to stop and sometimes go, okay, hang on, use your discernment. Do you need to look into that right now? Do you need to step back a little bit and just let it flow as the person comes in? So it's using your discernment in many ways and not
right.
taking everything as gospel. I was raised a Catholic, strangely enough, and like I love church. But then as I got older, I realized I didn't have to be in a particular place to have my faith and know that I stand in the light. So yeah, it's crazy, but it's all good.
And how does that changed for you when you say you were raised Catholic and there was obviously a belief system there and whatnot? And then, as you said, it's changed. You found comfort in your own way.
Yeah.
Um, how's that changed you as a person in that sense?
Oh, quite a lot, to be honest. If I was honest, quite a lot, because what I was raised to believe, I went to Sunday school and all those things, and it wasn't my best experience, to be honest. They all picked on me. I was only little, and they picked on me. But anyway, but what I'm saying is, I experienced all that side of things, and I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but over my many, many years of, opening up, exploring new things, testing new things within myself, I discovered that, yeah, you can have a very strong foundation, but you don't need a church to make that. And I know that sounds horrible, but I'm not overly religious, but I totally have faith. So it's not about religion. It's more about my own knowledge, inner knowledge, and what I've learnt and what I've been shown. There's things I've been shown that there's no way I could know as a normal human being that doesn't, come from awareness, because I live from awareness. That's me. I
Yeah,
live from awareness. Every moment I'm aware.
yeah,
And that
definitely.
doesn't mean
And
I'm psychic, but it does mean I'm open. And that's a thing, because people say, I don't like the word psychic. I have to be honest. I really don't like it.
oh, don't you? Okay.
No, I think
So
it's silly.
what did you call it?
Well, it is psychic. People know it as psychic, but I call it awareness, soul awareness. When you're aware from your soul, you are there and you can tap in to absolutely anything.
And I think it's trusting that too.
100%,
Because
100%.
if you don't trust, it just wouldn't work.
And so what do you trust? Who do you trust?
That's a good question.
Mm, you
How would you
trust.
answer that?
You trust your own divinity, your own inner guidance. That's what you trust. That feeling, that sense of knowing, that sense of being, and being completely you and trusting that. Yeah. Don't look outside, because the answers are within for all of us.
I love that. I almost just needed a moment just to
Yeah, I could
let
see
that
that. It was
sink
beautiful.
in.
It was just in that moment with me. Thank you, darling.
Yeah, I just need to let that sink in. But I think for everyone too who's watching, I just felt
Yeah,
collectively we just needed to hear that.
yeah. And it is important that we remember that because we have within our own beings so many tools, so many abilities, so many things that we haven't tapped into. And right now, we're in a time where by tapping into that, you'll be amazed. People will be amazed of what they can do and how quick they can heal things, whether it be mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. You know, it's about coming back within and remembering that we're amazing. Our bodies are amazing. Our minds are amazing, but most of all, our spirits are amazing. Yeah.
And I love all of that. Do need to shout out to Cherie. You were missed on Saturday night. She was having her son's 21st party, so welcome to the
Oh,
thread. Cherie and Teresa are having their own little private conversation, I can see, so that's good. Kaylee Cal, good to
yeah.
see you in the thread as well. If you are there, do say hello, please like and share this page. We do want to reach as many people as we
Of
possibly
course we
can
do.
tonight. Um, and we definitely have an up and running working website, which is fantastic. It's just little gremlins kind of jumped on. So just quickly, Amazing Grace is still on 9888. Blessed Beth is now logged in, who's also watching the show. On 9150, Judith Sky 9125, Mystical Owl on 9151, and Natalie Norm Baker on pin 9810. So what I wanted to ask you, Rayleen, was
Yes.
when all this was sort of happening for you, and you're kind of, exercising the I keep saying I want to use the word gift, but just the ability, the everything that you had.
Mm.
So obviously, as a I've seen you work as a medium, it's quite phenomenal. And the way you sort of see spirit and stuff. So when you were sort of seeing spirit and whatnot and trying to understand everything, did it ever sort of scare you at one point?
100%, 100%. I'd be lying if I said it didn't. And especially when I was younger, because I would see so clearly and think like someone was literally there. I would hear them like constantly, like I'm having a conversation now with you. It would be like that clearly. As I've got older, I've learned, I have a very strong saying, this is a really weird one, but it's beautiful, is I live in faith, not fear. So I don't let anything come in to change my vibration. So I live of faith and not of fear. And that's a good one to remember because when you have courage, strength, and faith, there's no room for fear. So at a young age, I learnt that I had to do certain things. I was shown certain things to protect myself, or to make me feel that sense of protection. Hmm? And so, in a lot of ways, when I was shown those things, I would utilize them. So, we can often learn something from someone or hear something, but if we don't put it into practice, it's really useless. So, whenever
That's
spirit would
true.
show me, yeah, when spirit would show me something, automatically I would learn, utilize it, and then be able to work what I call magic. Yeah.
Well, it is almost magical in what it is that you do. I've seen it live in action, and it's quite very sympathetic too as well. I find with the way you read, it's not yeah, it can be quite direct, but I've noticed you've got a very soft gentleness, nurturing type nature about you when you do read.
Thank you. And I think the most important thing to me is I'm straight down the line. I won't say something just for the sake of saying it. I will say it because I know how much of an impact I have on that person's soul. And I think as a medium clairvoyant and doing what we do, I think it's so, so very important immediately to respect the souls that are coming to you because it takes a lot of trust and a lot of yeah for a person to come and have a reading, whether it be with me or yourself, Michael, or the other readers. It takes a lot of courage and trust. So I think I've been very honored and blessed over my many years of reading for so many beautiful souls, to know that I've had a positive impact on their life. And I've never said something just for the sake of saying it. I don't believe in filling gaps. I'm a straight shooter in a loving way. That's the way I could describe it. Mm.
I love that. I love that. I think that's important, I think, for a lot of people. And I'm sure a lot of people agree. Gayleen, good to see you there in the thread. So as we've kind of gone through this journey, let's actually, the first thing I do sort of want to talk about, you are one of the original psychics for Psychic TV. So how did that come
Yes,
about for you?
I was approached. I was asked,
Good start. Yeah.
and yeah, and Amanda. Well, she's now called Amanda Starr, but it was Amanda Rossetti. Myself and Amanda were on the one together, and it was not long after that that we were both approached with the production of Psychic TV, and I was very honored that, I loved in the early days. I've got so many, like, because we used to be able to record it. So I've got recordings and I look and I go, oh my gosh, look at you, the way you carried on TV. But it's all learning. Do you know what I mean? For me, anything like TV, I've been, on radio. I was a spooky chick up here on the Central Coast. But anything like TV or radio has always been a wonderful, to me, my heart. It's been just a beautiful way to be able to reach more people. And it's not the fame, it's not the celebrity. Look, you're only as famous as the last time someone watched something you was on. So
Mm.
that's reality, isn't it? And I'd rather people remember something they felt than what they saw.
Yeah. So, what
What I
was that
mean.
experience like for you in a bit more detail? Because it was the first of its kind in Australian television. We had
Oh
nothing
yes,
like it.
it was really good.
So,
You know,
what was it like to be the first psychic TV psychic on the first Australian psychic TV show?
it was so nerve-wracking. It was so nerve-wracking. But the beautiful thing, Jordana was the host at the time, and we really had a beautiful banter with each other. So she had a bit of a dry sense of humor. I had a bit of a dry sense of humor. And like we just when the cameras were on the first show, we just bounced off each other and I thought, oh thank God. But yeah, it was nerve-wracking, I won't lie. But I was also very honored because I know the owners at the time, the people that were running, who were in charge of Psychic TV, they had a lot of faith in me, which really helped me in a lot of ways to know that I was there for that purpose. I was there to make a difference. And back in the day, and that's going way back over 9 years now. Um,
Wow,
yeah,
it's been that long.
yeah, I actually told because they only wanted it was only going to be a short production. It was only going to be like a 6 weeks, six
Well, I
weeks or something.
suppose when they had nothing like that,
Yeah,
you wouldn't
it was
know how successful it was going to be, and boy was it.
exactly.
I'm sure all people in the comments, let us know in the comments if you were one of the people that used to watch. Andrew, I know you're one of the original
Yeah,
viewers.
Andrew. Yeah.
You
Hello,
remember
darling.
watching it late at night in 2010 around 11. Yeah, I remember. I was a fan. I remember from Thursday right up till Saturday, and I think even Sunday, you guys were on, and it was my it was my
Yeah.
nightly viewing. It was my comfort.
Yeah, and back in the day, it was a lot of fun. We had a few different hosts, Michelle that we had, and we just had a beautiful array of psychics, so many different talents, which was really wonderful. I have to be honest, Michael, I do miss the TV, and miss doing what we do on TV, and watching everyone with their beautiful talents. So I think, but yeah, back in the day, it was beautiful. It's even more beautiful now, but again, it was very different because it was new. There, it was all trial and error. So you just did your best, and I think we did a few shows to New Zealand and America, and actually the American show I never got off. I never even got to go on on the cameras because I was on the phone all the time. And I don't know, the American people must have loved my accent. I don't know, but not my abilities, just my accent. But yeah, no,
It's all
it
good.
was fun days, and and I think really when I think back, it's so wonderful to think that we had that opportunity and still do have. And even Jane, our CEO now, she's kept it alive for us all of us, not just the psychics, but all the people that loved the show and loved, having, a reading and getting that, confirmation or that, that compassion when it was needed. So beautiful. Yeah. Did
Yeah,
I
I
answer
think
that
yeah,
right?
you did pretty much basically. Yeah, I'm going to say you did. No, you did because and yes, eventually the plan is to head back onto TV, and I'm sure watch this space kind of moment because it might
Yeah.
happen sooner than you think. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not saying anything. Just you know
Not
putting it out there. Um, but you never know with things. Anything's possible. I mean,
yeah,
you manifest it.
everything.
But yeah, definitely watch this space because We have some great things coming up, and I mean, even the Saturday Live and this show as well. It is great to connect, as you said, and to sort of squirt
100%.
messages, and it's still bringing that same kind of comfort and support that people had when we were on television. To be
Yeah,
able to watch.
it keeps us connected.
Yes, and I think
And
COVID taught us that as well.
yeah, it did. It taught us really to stay connected. I stayed connected, just stayed disconnected from everything else.
I still do that.
Well, we need that. Sometimes we need to go into our own space,
We do.
and let the outside world disappear for a while because we really get the answers from within anyway. And the more that we can go into that space of meditation, that space of stillness, we call it stillness, then we can really, see more clearly where we're going and what's coming and what we need to be prepared for and so forth. Yeah.
Definitely. Staying on the TV theme, because you're very good at that, let's talk about Haunting Australia.
Oh yeah.
How did
What would
that
you
all come about? Tell us what the show was about, like just everything. What was it? What
Oh,
was it?
Hunting Australia. Well, I was approached again, which I was very on. I'm always very honoured and humble when I'm asked to do any shows, to be honest. But I have a golden rule. I have to be me. I will not change. I will not be an actress because I can't be because I can't remember lines anyway. But but I just have to be me. But yeah, when I was approached, Rob Demarest, he was actually the one who approached me and said, "This is what we're doing. Do you think it's something you'd like to do?" I said, "I'll get back to you." And I sat with it for a little while, to be honest, because it was going to really take me as a medium out of my comfort zone. Like working from my business, that's fine because that's my space, that's my energy. I can set the energy the way that I like it. But going out when they were talking about asylums and jails and this and that, I'm kind of like going, what? And to be honest, it was crazy. It was crazy in the sense of I, yeah, what I experienced. Um, I saw another side. If I've always to be honest, I'm an optimist, so I always see the best in everything. I'm not, but I'm also a realist. Okay, so I can be an optimist, but I'm a realist. So I don't kind of like. I'm not airy fairy, to be honest. I'm not. Even though I might sound airy fairy at times. But when I was asked to do the show, I had to think about it. Yeah, but when we started filming, it was I really didn't have an understanding of what it was going to be. I just thought this is something new. I'll give it a go. But when I was actually in like some really I won't say demonic because I don't like even using that word, but when I was
Yeah.
in some spaces and places where there was a lot of very unsettled spirits, it was very uncomfortable. I ended up having an EVP, we call the voice evidence. Yeah. So when you're in a room and you ask the spirit to communicate, I was when we were doing the tour, there was a few of us from the team that come in after the show to do a tour. And Beechworth was one of the places we went. It's an asylum and it is
Yeah, I've
full on
been there. That
activity.
is full
Yeah.
on.
It is. And
Wow.
while I was there, I was actually in one of the wards, the male wards. And so all of the team members went to different areas of the location. And I had the most, I don't know why, but I had the most active. And I actually left my recorder um, in the room to go and get another group of people that were due to come in. As I'm walking in, and you hear me say it on my recorder, I say to everyone, "Oh, do you mind if I just play back my recorder? I've left it while I was gone." Well, as I listened back with 25 other people in the room, all I hear is this scream down, like screaming to the point where the audio on my little recorder was like blown out type thing. And then all you hear this spirit say is my name in such and my name's not an easy name to say, Rayleen. Even children have problems saying it. And you hear him say Rayleen, and he says it twice. Well, the funniest thing I have to say is I'm in this room and I underneath I was, excuse my expression, I won't say because I can't say it on Facebook, but I was shitting myself really. I said it quick so they didn't hear it. Yeah, and I had to put on a brave face because I've got 25 people who are looking up to me, thinking, I'm this big tough woman. Well, I have to admit, I was tough. I didn't think I was tough, but I had my spiritual knowledge, if that makes sense. So having that, doing the show, really helped me immensely. If I
In what
didn't,
way and how?
understanding spirits, understanding protection, understanding how to block things if I needed to block things energetically. I'm talking energy here. So if I didn't have that knowledge, and this is why I always say to people, if you go out to paranormal investigate, know where you're going, know a little bit of a history if you can, um, and don't fear. Have a bit of a form of protection, whether you do a little mantra, or you do a little prayer, or you do a little bit of a saging, especially after an investigation. Really important to do a cleansing. Yeah.
Oh,
So
that
yes,
that would teach you so much. Yeah, like I mean,
yeah, yeah.
and
So
quickly too.
yeah, I had so many amazing moments. I captured a lot, and a lot of it wasn't able to go on the show itself because I had a lot. I had at one stage I had this gentleman speaking and in a completely different language, and it was really bizarre because the producer said, "I've never ever heard anything like this before, Rayleen." And when we do the transferring over from our equipment to, let's say, productions equipment, we got to do the changeover. Somewhere along the line, unfortunately, it was lost. But again, when I say unfortunately, but it would have been absolutely wonderful for people to hear it on TV because it was we were trying to work out the language. It was like it was in tongues, to be honest.
Wow.
And even my producer just said, "Wow, I've never heard anything like that." And he's done a lot. He did a lot of paranormal and things like that in the past, so he was familiar. But yeah, and I'll be honest, I had some scary moments. I did,
What
you
was the
know.
most scariest?
On the show itself, oh, I think I'm trying to think of the name of it because we went not Pioneer Village, but it was at the Blue Mountains, and I can't think of the name. I've got the video right there. I should have a look, shouldn't I? It's right there, my DVD. But it was at the Blue Mountains. We were doing an investigation. I can't think the cottage, and I was actually in a room where the little girl was with me, and she was showing me that she had a disability, but she was locked in the room all the time. And in the other room, there was this male, and it scared the shabibis out of me. Yeah, to the point where I nearly fell down the stairs, running down the stairs. But yeah, it was crazy. But so I'm human. And I think that's important. I'm not a faker, so don't worry. If I said there was something there, there was something there. You get a lot of controversy, but again, that's not bad. It's good to be skeptic, but also do your research to know. The one thing I can say that I love the most about Haunting Australia was the team I worked with. Not only the cast, but also the crew. They were absolutely beautiful. Each and every one of them were 100% focused, supportive. And it was a big production, it was amazingly, there was a lot
Mm.
involved. And, even to down to the point of you can investigate, you can go to a place and investigate and sometimes never get anything, to be honest. That's the reality of it. But I think the combination of all the cast and their different skills and so forth made it a show because like Gaurav, GT we used to call him, he was amazing. I say he was, sorry, because he has since passed, since the production. But I remember him saying to me, "Rayleen, I've worked with thousands of psychics, and never have they been able to get so much activity with the spirit world." But I'm not a stirrer. I don't. I absolutely love and respect the spirit world because I know it I know it this world, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of
So
course.
if they come to me, it's not because I'm scaring them or trying to evoke them or provoke them. It's because they feel safe.
Oh,
So did
I
I
like
answer?
that. It's
Yeah.
yeah, no, it did. It did. No, I loved it. Look, I I loved the show. I watched the show, and it's a shame in a way that because there's so many paranormal investigation shows out
Yeah.
there, and there's a whole bunch of people that do it on TikTok now and their live streams and stuff that they do. But it is sort of a shame in a sense that there is no real Australian show now, like a sort of a solid
Yeah.
show that's
Even
it's a
yeah,
very
even the
overseas market, but we have so
it
many
is.
beautiful locations, which you've
We
been to
do.
most of them.
We do, and and like Victoria, Melbourne is one of the people say to me, "Oh, where's the most activity?" And I say Melbourne. You've got
Well, Melbourne, it's
Arrowdale.
actually funny because I've done the Melbourne Ghost Tour
Yeah,
when it used to run, and the gentleman, I can't remember his name that used to run it, but he says Melbourne is a
Nathaniel.
cemetery lit up at night
Nathaniel, I think that's who you're talking about, Nathaniel. Yeah,
from the
uh,
Haunted Bookshop.
yeah, yeah. Because the people that run the ghost tours down there are absolutely gorgeous. I love them dearly.
Yeah.
Um,
But
you know, and
they all say Melbourne is a cemetery lit up at
it
night
is.
because there's
It really
so
is. Like
much.
we went to Melbourne in our tour, Sydney and Brisbane, Boggo Jail we went to, and I got some activity there too. That was interesting. But but I would say Melbourne definitely for paranormal activity, definitely. Yeah.
Do you remember
Um,
what locations in Melbourne you went to?
Arrowdale Asylum,
Oh
Beechworth, love
yes,
that,
Beechworth,
Beechworth.
of course.
Yeah, so those two alone are very active. But it's yeah, it's funny because it's like the opposite world to what I do in a sense.
Yeah, it's
I'm working with spirits one on one with my clients. It's very personal. When I'm doing the paranormal, it's very, it's not as personal. It is to me with the spirit, but they're not necessarily happy with where they're at. People often would ask, do you send them off? Do you clear them?
I was
I
just
don't
about to
believe
ask that same question.
yeah, I don't believe I have a right to do or move anything that doesn't want to be moved. I'm a bit stubborn myself, so if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. But
Yeah,
I give them the option 100%. I'll talk and ask them if they want to go move on to the light. If they don't, well, I can't. It's no different to
yeah,
if they were here.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Eva, I think this is yeah, you say your name. Welcome from the USA. You're watching. We aren't doing psychic readings tonight, but thank you for your
Yeah.
question there. Hi to a whole bunch of you that has just jumped on. Stephanie, good to see you there in the thread. Wesley, I did see Katrina. You're all in there, which is fantastic. So do like and share this page. If you have any questions for Rayleen or if anything
Yeah,
that
feel
Rayleen
free.
spoke,
Please. Yeah.
not psychic though, like we're talking personal stuff. But if there's anything that Raylene's spoken about that you would like a little bit more information on, obviously in the short time, we'll try and answer as much as I can that we both can.
Mm.
Um, so then we kind of, I've got mixed opinions on this one, but then you moved on
Yeah.
to the one. You did the one.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Now I don't know. That was more of like almost like a game show type system, wasn't it? Or like a competition almost type.
It was more like a competition. Yes, I would say it was more like a competition. And I'm not competitive. That's a weird thing. I'm not competitive. But and people might think I am, but I'm actually not. I'm quite the opposite. I'm supportive. You want to do it? Yeah, you go for it. But I was again another opportunity that come to me, and I was so grateful for it. Uh, but that production, it was different. It was different. And when I say that, it was just like I was very frustrated with myself because so many times I second guessed, and I actually knew when I didn't second guess.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And that's
Um,
probably a good lesson there in it for
A
yourself,
hundred
really.
percent, yeah. Like I always say to people, always trust that first instinct. And even though it might seem really odd and out there, always trust that first instinct. Because I learnt from the one when they were looking for the little boy that was lost. I knew exactly where it was, and I actually second guessed myself. No, I'm going to tell you, this is a really honest secret, but I was scared because I don't like snakes. And where we were, the grass was really long, was really long. And you'll see if you watch the show, you'll see me running because I was so scared that I'd come across a snake. So my fear of snakes, and that led to a whole lot of different things, not trusting my first instinct, but still being too scared to go where I thought it might have been because of snakes, strangely enough.
How
And I've never
funny.
told anyone that. Yeah.
You should have. So
That's-
okay, so but also too, it goes back to what you're saying before about with the mediumship, how just the way you do it is to support. They come to you for love. It's support.
Yeah.
It's done
Yeah.
in a sort of
It's a lot.
natural,
Yeah.
organic kind of way. And I think with the one, because unfortunately, you were one of the early contestants to leave early.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it was unfair in that sense because I don't. And I could be wrong here, but maybe it's because you weren't able to do it naturally that you would like to normally. Like it was a
I
competition, so
felt,
it changed
yeah.
the things.
Yes, yes, and I agree there. I'm not. I look at that as an opportunity. It was a wonderful opportunity to reach more people. And when my time come, I was quite upset, to be honest. It was a bit of a shock to the system. But I'm not a performer. I'm not being rude when I say this, but I can't perform in a certain way to please people,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. So, me being me, so at the time I was shattered, but afterwards I really saw the blessing in it, because right up till the time I left, I was myself. So I walked away with my integrity and who I am, and I didn't have to do anything, and I wouldn't have done anything that was, but yeah. And we're talking TV. So when you're talking TV, there's certain ratings to be, TV, Michael, you know what I'm talking about. There's
You better
certain
hit
things.
ratings.
Yeah, it's ratings, and it's also about whether or not you can hold the audience. Yeah, that's really big. If you are too boring, you'll be gone, boom, gone at the door. If you're not able to, and I won't, I'm not
Perform,
a
yeah.
performer. Yeah. So, but I'm very grateful for each and every experience that I've had on TV, 1000%, because it's helped me to reach more people. Um, you know, has it changed me as a person? No, not at all, because I
Well,
just,
as we said, if anything, it's taught you as a
it's,
person.
yeah, it's enhanced my abilities to be me.
So, if the opportunity of something similar, Content Australia, was to come along, would you go back onto doing something like
100%.
that? Yeah.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I'm actually ready for TV again. I've, it's funny because I always say, Spirit, when the time comes, as long as I can always be me, I'm ready to go. So hopefully, if there is anything, I do it soon, because I'm getting older and it's hard to, put on that spac filler and stuff like
And now,
that.
and now we're shooting. Now we're shooting in 4K, so it's even worse.
Yeah, I know, it's so close up, and it's like, wow.
It's,
But, yeah, I love TV for all the right reasons, as long as I can
yeah.
be authentic. If I have to be something else, that there's no point me doing, because I won't do it. Yeah. But I have been very blessed, to be able to do, whether it be radio, TV, stage, to be able to reach more people. And I think in the end, it's about, we give to each other. It's not just me. It's also my client coming to me that gives me, I give to them. So it's an exchange of beautiful energy. It's not, yeah, it's not
I
just
love,
one.
yeah. Amy, I think I'm saying that right. It's saying, Raylene, I admire your authenticity. I can't even say that word, but you know what I'm talking about. And inner
Yeah.
strength. Thank you for being you. Have truly inspired me tonight, exactly when I
Oh,
needed it.
bless you, Amy. Oh,
And just on that, Amy, you were saying to me, we spoke last night on the phone, and you said to me, if I can just inspire one person,
that's
I've
it.
done my job.
And that's a beautiful way to look at it, Amy, because it's not about, and I'm going to use this, people won't like to hear it, but it's not about fame, because you're only as famous as the last show you was on. And, it's in life, if you can change someone's moment just by smiling, by just caring, by, acknowledgement, by respecting, you're successful already. Success isn't about how much you make and how many people like you or dislike you, or the likes and, all that stuff, that makes your ego feel good. But it's when you can walk away from a situation, or where you've helped someone, and on a soul level you've done, and it's like you don't even need to hear words, you just feel it. It's a feeling
Yeah,
thing.
but it's
It's like
like that simple, example of just day to day life, like walking past someone in the street and just smiling at them or saying hello.
smiling.
Like no one does that
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh, yeah, I do. My
I
husband
do
says,
as
"You do
well. I live in a
that."
small country town, and I've noticed actually being in Melbourne, I've moved from the city to a small country sort of regional
Yeah,
town, and you get that. It actually was funny actually just on this randomly, but spirits allow me to direct this in a
beautiful.
sense that when I first moved to the town that I'm in, I actually had to get used to people saying hello and smiling at me because I was
Yeah,
so
it's
not
lovely.
used to
Yeah,
that. And it just
yes.
made me go, you know what? We don't do enough of it in the city. And why don't we? I mean, people might think you're crazy and
Different
whatever.
energy, different energy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
isn't that
yeah.
interesting?
When
And
you're
in
on
those
the
small towns, that
yeah.
small town mentality is so
Yeah,
just
and
beautiful.
when you're on the land, you kind of like, in a sense, you rely on each other. Not that you're in each other's space all the time, but it is that support unit. Yeah, and this is what talking about connecting. This is what we're all needing to do again, is connect, in whatever way, whether it's via the internet or whether it's on the phone, but preferably in person. We need to all get back into feeling connected. A lot of people are like myself. I was hibernating for quite some
I
time
was
over COVID.
literally must be psychic. I was about to say you've been quiet for a while and you are just sort of coming back out again. So yeah, you're doing that right now.
Yeah.
You're reconnecting to you reconnected to yourself and now you're reconnecting with
Oh, yeah.
everyone
And,
else.
it's lovely. It's lovely when we can do that, when we can give a bit of ourselves to the greater, because it's the energy, and I think I mentioned to you 2026 is gonna be my big year of definitely doing shows again and getting it back out there and connecting with people and helping people to reconnect with their own soul awareness. That's my big mission at the moment. It's like that's what I've been shown is it's time to get back out and help people reconnect with their own soul and their own soul's awareness. And it's about, yeah, so it's like pretty powerful. I'm pretty excited.
I'm excited. I'm excited too for you. Beth had sort of asked, obviously we were talking before, but she said, what was your most outstanding moment when doing this? But I'm going to kind of change the question a little bit and say, what was just your most outstanding moment in your career so far?
I really couldn't say if I was honest. I've had so many amazing things happen. Um, But I can tell you one thing, I have a heart full of gratitude for each and every one. Like, even when Psychic TV, the respect I was shown coming in to work with the team and the crew was amazing. And just that respect help. Look, I'm still here with Psychic TV, so that says a lot. So that first impression, that first level of respect and support that I received doing Psychic TV has kept me here. Yeah. So it
You
says a
wouldn't
lot.
be otherwise. That says a lot, yeah. And to our
Yeah.
CEO Jane for believing in all of us and
Yeah. a hundred
the
percent
levels she's willing to go to. People
to
don't
make it
really
even
understand
better.
background what Jane really does. Like she really does
Does a
go
lot.
above and beyond more than a lot of what a lot of other CEOs would do for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that Mel has said nothing is impossible. The word itself says I'm possible. I actually like that.
Exactly, that's very true, Mel, and I love it because, like, Mel's letting people know that you can be anything, you can do anything, there's nothing and that's the truth, but we've all forgotten that on some level. It's almost like, with everything going on externally, and when I say externally around the world, yes, if I hear of I don't watch TV, I have to tell you, I don't watch TV or anything like that, so I would not know what is on the news or what is on the radios or anything like that. And that's just being honest. I
Oh,
disconnected from
I've
that.
stopped watching the news. I can't.
Yeah,
I don't have the energy
yeah.
for it.
But you still hear of things, and like I still do all my little prayers and send out beautiful energy to places that I hear of any tragedies or anything like that. But I don't let that absorb my being. I get about being in the moment and doing what needs to be done for those closest to me and those even friends and people I meet. So I keep myself very present. And by doing that, it allows me to be a clearer channel for people. And
How do you oh you said before, why don't we do this now? You're gonna play a little bit of music.
I got music.
Why don't we do like a quick little sound session? We'll just take a moment.
Can you hear that okay?
Yeah, a little bit louder would be good.
I don't like to stop it when it's in its moment
I
because it
know.
just rings. And I've got another little thing I can play for a bit. That's the thing I was playing. It's one of those little drums. Look, it's not a big one. It's only a little one. That's interesting because you've asked me to play some of my instruments. And one thing I can share with people is I've really been in this last maybe 12 months or so, been working with sound as a healing tool. And I've got several bowls and several, instruments. But yeah. And I work with them with my clients? Yeah, 100%. But I also work with them with myself. So I actually do a lot of bowl work when I first start, before I even go into a meditation or before I,
And that
catch
was
up.
yeah, and that's what I was going to ask. So how do you ground and yourself, and what's your sort of ritual around that?
I wake up and I have a heart full of gratitude. The first thing is I thank God, the universe, for absolutely everything. I then come into my room and play all my bowls one by one and just breathe. I do a lot of breathing techniques. And then to be honest, some of my grounding is getting out in the garden. But I guess the way I can explain grounding to you, my form of grounding is being in the present moment, is not letting my thoughts go back to something that happened 2 weeks ago or something that happened. I stay in the now. Yeah,
Yeah, and
that
I
now moment is very important. Mm.
absolutely love that. So bear with me for 2 seconds here, because you can probably
Yeah,
hear yourself, and I'm trying to work out how to mute this. So I think we've lost connection to Facebook. We're still streaming, but I can't see any more comments. So production, I don't know if you're still in the background, but I've lost access to Facebook. So I'm just looking at the you gotta love technology tonight. We're doing really well. We are still streaming, but I just aren't getting any more comments.
oh, that's okay.
Um so I'm just looking at the Facebook page to see if I have missed anything, because we are going to be wrapping up soon anyway. So if it was going to happen, now's a good time.
Yeah,
The sound vibration must have been that strong.
it can be too, energetically, it can interfere with things. My energy can too, to be honest.
Yeah. Um,
Done that before when I've been on
we
radio.
are here. Still like, yeah, no, we're definitely still streaming. But we've lost access, so I'm not getting any more comments. So Teresa has just said we are here. Penny saying it's dropped out. Good morning to Linda. So yes, I am seeing your comments. I just have to look them on my phone. But we are going to be wrapping up soon. In fact, we're pretty much going to be wrapping up now anyway. The last kind of question that I sort of wanted to
Yes,
ask
yes, feel
you
free to.
was, as we are about to leave, what's one bit of advice or general something that you just want to leave off with everyone that they can take away from?
Okay, that's a really good question. Just remember the I am that you are. And when you get lost in everything, stop and say, I am. Very powerful. Because the I am is one of the most highest vibrations that brings us back to our center. Those two words, I am.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
don't know if you can still hear me, Rayleen, but
Again,
you, or if I'm even live right now. I don't know if anyone can see me. I'm seeing a black screen right now. Let's just give it a moment. Not
I
sure if
can
anyone
see
can
you.
still hear me.
Oh.
It looks like we've completely.
Hmm.
Am I back? Okay, I'm back. I think I'm back.
You're back. I can
I'm
see you.
back.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Okay. Sorry, it cut out. Can you repeat what you just said? I'm so sorry. Because I don't know if you
that
caught that or not.
do you know that was very interesting because what I said is a very powerful statement.
Say it
And I
again.
was I was telling everyone to remember that the I am that they are, because I am is one of the most powerful things to bring you back to your center. So when you're getting lost with everything and everyone's pulling you in all different directions, I am.
I love that.
Mm. Yeah, but it was interesting as I said all that, everything went. I was watching you and nothing. I could see you
Okay.
until for a moment.
So people can probably people probably heard the first time, but for some reason I just lost everything.
Yeah, happens. I've had so
Um
much fun tonight. Thank you, dear.
Oh, look, thank you. I have really have enjoyed, and I'll definitely have you back on soon because there's more we could
Lovely.
definitely chat about.
Yeah, I love
But thank
sharing.
you
I
so,
love, yeah, giving tools to work with.
and it's good just to have that general reminder for people as well. You know, it's good just to have a reminder every so often to go. You know what? You know, I am me. Like,
Mm,
just be you. You know.
yeah, 100%. Yep.
Um. Yeah. Look, thank you so much. We'll definitely be in touch, and I really enjoyed having you on tonight.
Much love and blessings. And remember, I am. When everything gets a little bit out there, stop, deep breath. I am. Mm.
I am. I am. And I am grateful for having you on the
I
Tonight
am
Show.
grateful too. Much love, dear.
Much
Thank you
love.
so
I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone. Oh, that was too close for comfort. Thank you to everyone that has jumped on tonight. It was a really great to have your company. Of course, there has to be tech issues at some point. It wouldn't be a Psychic TV show or any live show really without some tech glitches. But we did get there in the end. So for those that are wanting an actual psychic reading, should have actually asked if Rayleen was going to jump on. She might jump onto the phone lines actually. You'll have to just go to the website and have a look. So go to Psychic TV international.com and speak to one of our psychics who are currently logged on for a psychic reading if my phone wants to work. Amazing Grace is available on 9888, Blessed Beth on 9950, Judith Sky on 9125. Mystical L is available on 9151. And Natalie Norbeg is available on pin 9810. Just go to the website and get a chat with them, our psychics. Thank you so much for your company tonight. If you've been watching overseas, if you're rewatching this later on another date, thank you for still watching. It was grateful to have you here regardless. Some really great advice with Rayleen. I'm definitely going to go back and rewatch some of the things that she has said to re-inspire me. And I love that little sound healing at the end. That was quite off script as always, but I think, yeah, that was quite nice as well. Next week, we do have the Mermaid Medium, I believe. Yes, I do believe she was supposed to be on tonight, but it's gone. It's been no. Actually, we don't have the Mermaid Medium next week. I do believe we've got someone next week. I do apologize. We've had some shuffling around that we've had to do. So, yes, we were going to have the Mermaid Medium on tonight, but she's been moved to a later date. So I will have to check my calendar, but definitely just come back next week. Of course, you've got Harry T this Saturday at 8 o'clock for psychic readings. So make sure to tune in 8 o'clock this Saturday with Harry T for mini psychic readings. I am back next week with a guest, and I'm looking forward to having your company then. And remember, I am. That's probably the biggest message. I am me. I am, you are you. So um, go off and be yourself, your beautiful self. Thank you so much, and I will see you next